Well, good evening. I would like to call to order the special meeting of the Newport News School Board for Tuesday, June the 7th, 2022. On behalf of the members of the school board and the superintendent, I welcome each of you present and watching. A quorum is present to transact the business of the school division. We'll begin tonight's meeting with a pledge to the flag. I'm going to ask school board member Gary Hunter, would you please lead us in do the honors of leading us? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. We will now move on to section 2, which is the consent agenda of tonight. That includes 2.01, the personnel report. At this time, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Hunter. Any discussion? Yes.
Could you read that motion in its entirety?
Oh, for the personnel actions?
Yes.
Full. Okay. I move to approve the recommendations of the superintendent's personnel recommendation for Dr. Nicole Jennings for assistant principal, Minchville High School, Deborah Figgs for assistant principal, Huntington Middle School, Stephanie Bean for assistant principal, Point Option, Catherine Jen, assistant principal, Gildersleeve Middle School, Dr. Angela Mompas for principal, Catherine Johnson Elementary School, Dr. Heather Cobbs for assistant principal for elementary school, location to be determined, Tanisha Williams for assistant principal, elementary school, location to be determined, Dr. Catherine Herman for the executive director of elementary leadership, Shay Coates for executive director of transportation, and Jose Petaway, assistant principal of operations at Heritage High School.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. You heard the motion. I'll ask for a second again.
Second.
Second by Mr. Hunter. All right. Any further discussion? There being none, Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Ely?
4.
Mr. Harris?
4.
Mr. Hunter?
4.
Mrs. Searles Law?
4.
Mr. Brown?
4.
Mrs. Amon?
4.
Motion passes 6-0.
So I believe there are some congratulations in order. Now on our agenda is item 3.01, which is comments by the superintendent. Dr. Parker, do you have some comments for us?
Yes, sir. I would like to introduce our appointees and also go through the list of recommended transfers on the superintendent's personnel report for this evening. I'll start by introducing Dr. Nicole Jennings. If you're called, please stand. Good to see you. Dr. Jennings is the new assistant principal at Minchville High School. Dr. Jennings has a doctorate degree in education, K through 12 school leadership from Regent University, a master's degree of teaching from Hampton University, and her Bachelor of Arts in English from Hampton University. Dr. Jennings is currently a lead teacher at Heritage High School, and Dr. Jennings has been a member of Newport News Public Schools since 2003. We congratulate you, Dr. Jennings, and welcome to the world of leadership. Did you bring any friends or family with you this evening that are supporting you this evening? Okay. Well, please, family, please stand. We just want to acknowledge you as well and thank you for showing your support. And welcome aboard. We look forward to your leadership. I also would like to introduce this evening Deborah Figgs as the new assistant principal at Huntington Middle School. Ms. Figgs has a master's degree in education from Cambridge College and a Bachelor of Arts degree from Elizabeth City State University. Ms. Figgs is currently a middle school principal with Portsmouth Public Schools. She was an elementary assistant principal and summer school principal with Portsmouth Public Schools, and Ms. Figgs also previously worked in Newport News as band director, administrative intern, and summer school administrator and music teacher. We congratulate you and welcome back to Newport News Public Schools, Ms. Figgs. And we'd like to give you an opportunity, if you have friends or family joining you this evening, please introduce them. Good to see you this evening. and welcome aboard. I'd like to introduce Stephanie Bean as the new assistant principal at Point Option. Ms. Bean has a master's degree in educational leadership and curriculum instruction, both from American College of Education. She has a bachelor's degree in history from the College of William & Mary, and Ms. Bean is currently the virtual learning specialist at Point Option. Ms. Bean previously worked for York County Public Schools and Hampton City Schools as an instructional intervention coach, social studies teacher, and history teacher. Congratulations and welcome aboard, Ms. Bean. We're glad to have you here. And Ms. Bean, do you have any friends or family joining you this evening?
Yes, this is my family, my sons, my husband, my parents, and my 2 bosses from this past school year.
Welcome aboard. And we look forward to your leadership. Thank you so much. I want to introduce Catherine Jen as the new assistant principal at Gildersleeve Middle School. Ms. Jen has her master's degree in education administration from Lamar University and a bachelor's degree in elementary education from Drake University. Ms. Bean is currently the assistant principal at Newsom Park Elementary. She was an assistant principal at Knollwood Meadows and an elementary teacher with Hampton Public Schools. Congratulations and welcome aboard, Ms. Jen. And if you brought any friends or family, please. Right, there you go. Welcome, welcome. Congratulations. And I believe, I don't know if she's zooming in with us, but I'll do an introduction for Dr. Angela Montpas as the principal of Catherine Johnson, the new principal of Catherine Johnson Elementary School, effective July 1. Dr. Montpas has a doctorate in educational leadership and policy analysis from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, a master's degree in literacy instruction, and bachelor's degree in international relations and social science, both from Michigan State University. Dr. Montpas currently works as an elementary school principal in Madison, Wisconsin. She has worked as the director of curriculum and instruction, instructional facilitator, and district reading specialist supervisor and literacy coach in Wisconsin. We welcome Dr. Montpas to the Newport News family. And I don't know if she's zooming in with us this evening, but I know she's going to meet and greet with us by the next board meeting. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes. So we'll give her a round of applause. Look forward to introduce her to the family. Next introduction is for Dr. Heather Cobbs as new assistant principal for elementary, and that's to be determined, but location to be determined. Dr. Cobbs has her doctorate in education from Liberty University, a Master's of Science degree from Gardner-Webb University, and a Bachelor of Science degree in education from Western Michigan University. Dr. Cobbs currently works as an administrative assistant at Heidenwood Elementary School. She has also worked with response to intervention and a teacher, and she's been is a teacher with Newport News Public Schools. Congratulations, Dr. Cobbs, and welcome aboard to your new assignment. And we will obviously assign Dr. Cobbs at a later time for the board once we have finished all of our placements for this year. But did you bring anyone this evening to support your placement?
My 2 sons and then my current principal.
Awesome. Congratulations for your leadership. I'd also like to introduce Tanisha Williams as the new assistant principal for elementary. Again, location to be determined. Ms. Williams has her educational specialist certificate in school leadership and administration, a master's degree in arts education, both from Regent University, and a Bachelor of Science degree in governmental administration from Christopher Newport University. Ms. Williams currently works as an administrative assistant at Carver Elementary School. She has also worked as an educational specialist and 21st century coordinator for Newport News Public Schools. Congratulations, Ms. Williams. And do you have any family or friends here joining you this evening for your...
My daughter, Jada, and I have my current principal, Mrs. Diane Willis, and assistant principal, Mr. Dylan Dale.
Awesome. Congratulations. I want to introduce Jose Petaway as an assistant principal of operations for Heritage High School. Mr. Petaway has a master's degree in administration and supervision pre-K through 12 from Cambridge College, a Bachelor of Arts from Christopher Newport University. Mr. Petaway is currently an assistant principal at Hines Middle School. Mr. Pettaway has served in Newport News Public Schools since 2014 as an assistant principal at Warwick High School and Passage Middle School. Congratulations, Mr. Pettaway, on this next assignment. We appreciate your service to Newport News. Let's give him a round of applause. And because this is a jump from middle to high, this would be considered a promotion for Mr. Pettaway. Oh, did you bring any friends or family with you this evening? Thank you, Mr.
From my Hines family, Principal Mrs. Gatch Daniel, and my favorite, Mrs. Harmon. My immediate family has a fundraiser they had to attend today, so because it was so sudden, I just a little disappointed.
Well, thank you for your leadership. Look forward to working with you in your next assignment. I want to introduce Dr. Catherine Herman as the new Executive Director for Elementary Leadership with the Department of School Leadership. Dr. Herman has her Doctor of Philosophy in Educational Leadership and Supervision from Old Dominion University, her Master of Arts from George Washington University, and her Bachelor of Arts from Randolph-Macon Women's College. Dr. Herman currently works as the Director of Elementary Leadership. She was previously the principal of Kiln Creek Elementary School prior to that, and Dr. Herman's prior experience has been assistant principal with Hampton Public Schools and assistant principal with Isle of Wight County Schools, and we'd like to congratulate Dr. Herman on this next appointment. Dr. Herman, did you bring anyone this evening that you, your school leadership team? Thank you.
My family's actually, my son is playing in a state soccer game tonight, so.
Okay.
Kickateen High School, let's see what happens.
Well, awesome. Well, great.
We're in Virginia Beach.
And the school leadership team is very busy this time of year, so we thank you guys for all you're doing right now, supporting our principals in our schools. Our next appointment this evening is not able to join us this evening, but it is just more or less an equity-driven appointment. Is Mr. Shay Coates as the Executive Director of Transportation. Mr. Coates' current role is Director of Transportation, and this move will allow him to be on the same level as his colleagues in the Operations Department, which is well deserved. Mr. Coates has a Master of Arts degree from Webster University and a Bachelor of Arts degree from Mount St. Mary's College. He is currently the Director of Transportation, and Mr. Coates' previous experience has been with the U.S. Army as Logistics Analyst, Deputy Branch Manager for Ground Mobility, and Battalion Commander for the 6th Transportation Battalion, and the 1st Armored Division as a Division Transportation Officer. We'd like to congratulate Mr. Coates. I know he's not able to join us this evening. He is in some taking part in professional development, but we wish him well with this appointment this evening. And that concludes the appointments, Mr. Chairman, and we have a fairly large round of transfers that are on the superintendent's personnel report. I can go through that list and obviously we will provide that in writing to our faculty and families following this board meeting. Karen Bazemore Person will be assigned for the 2022-2023 to Booker T. Washington Middle School. Melissa Rhodes, this current assistant principal at Warwick High School, will be transferred to Heritage High School. Alan Washington, the current assistant principal at Woodside High School, will transfer to Warwick High School. Aday Brayboy, assistant principal Woodside High School, will transfer to Warwick High School. Dr. Arva Davidson, assistant principal Booker T. Washington Middle School, will transfer to Woodside High School. Nikisha Williams, assistant principal Gildersleeve Middle School, will be the new assistant principal at Ella Fitzgerald Middle School. Tanya Graham Galatro, assistant principal Heritage High School, will transfer to Ella Fitzgerald Middle School. Dr. Kathy Baycoat, assistant principal Ella Fitzgerald Middle School, will transfer to Gildersleeve Middle School. Stephen Arrington, assistant principal Ella Fitzgerald Middle School, will transfer to Hines Middle School. Jessica Weymouth German, assistant principal Gildersleeve Middle School, will transfer to Passage Middle School. Carl Williams, assistant principal of Operations, Heritage Middle School, will transfer to Enterprise Academy. Heather Tuck, assistant principal, Riverside Elementary School, transfer to Saunders Elementary School. Terry Pittman, assistant principal, Catherine Johnson Elementary School, will transfer to Saunders Elementary School. Kamisha Davis, principal, Greenwood Elementary School, will be the new principal at McIntosh Elementary School. Travis Humble, principal, Duttrow Elementary School, will be the new principal at Discovery STEM Elementary School or Academy. Ethel Francis, principal, McIntosh Elementary School, will be the new principal at Greenwood Elementary School. Cassandra Stephen, assistant principal, Deer Park Elementary School, will be the assistant principal at Jenkins Elementary School. Cassandra Murphy, assistant principal, Achievable Dream Elementary School, will be the assistant principal at Charles Elementary School. Christine Pilger, principal, Discovery STEM Academy, will be the new principal at Kiln Creek Elementary School. Timothy Edwards, principal, Yates Elementary School, will be the new principal at Riverside Elementary School. Karen Brown, principal, Riverside Elementary School, will be the new principal at Duttrow Elementary School. Jody Johnson, assistant principal, Charles Elementary School, will be the assistant principal at Achievable Dream Elementary School. Rhonda Perkins, assistant principal, Yates Elementary School, will be the new assistant principal at Hilton Elementary School. Cheryl Andrews, assistant principal, Kiln Creek, will be the new assistant principal at Deer Park Elementary School. Lauren Gray, principal, Denby Early Childhood Center, will be the new principal at Watkins Early Childhood Center. Sue Waxman, principal, Watkins Elementary School, will be the new principal at Denby Early Childhood Center. Amanda McCauley, administrative assistant, Denby Early Childhood, will be the administrative assistant at Newsom Park. And Charnel Simmons, assistant principal, Hilton Elementary School, will be the new assistant principal at Kiln Creek. And that concludes the transfers and appointments on tonight's personnel agenda, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Parker. We will now move on to matters by the school board, and I'll start here on the far end with Mr. Ely.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to say congratulations to everyone in their new position. And we got a lot of great things to do in Newport News, and thank you for always being dedicated to serve our community and our children. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Ely. Ms. Amon.
Sure. I also would like to offer my congratulations. It's always exciting to see moves around from different schools and promotions. I'm excited to see what the next year brings. So thank you.
Mr. Hunter.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just want to thank of all the new appointments and new transfers, and I do want to get a shout out to our recently graduates of our captains, community captains this past weekend over at Christopher Newport University, and then all the folks that came out to the family engagement and a read across the city down in Midtown this week. So thank you, and one more day, one more week left. Please go out and read a book, a magazine, newspaper, or something this summer. Enjoy and be safe.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hunter. Mr. Harris.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Congratulations to all of the new appointees and assignees, and also I'd like to give a congratulatory thanks to the ones that transfer into other positions or may have retired. So we look forward to your continued service and support of Newport News Public School System. Thank you.
All right, Madam Vice Chair.
Yes, I want to echo the remarks of the board. Congratulations, welcome aboard. Or for those who are transferring, thank you for hanging in here with us. It takes a wealth of knowledge to run a district this size, and we appreciate your dedication and your abilities that you're going to use to do so. And I had an exciting day, got to attend Palmer Elementary School 50th anniversary, and we had a blast. So great things are happening.
All right, thank you, Madam Vice Chair. And I want to say congratulations as well. The board has great confidence in your skills and abilities to lead our division, and we're very grateful to have you in the positions that you're in, and we look forward to a very successful next year. I also want to say congratulations to all the graduates. I know that by the next time that we have our board meeting, we will be saying goodbye to the class of 2022. So we're looking very much forward to this time of the year. Is I think I speak for the rest of the board, it's our favorite time of the year Thursday, we'll kick off our first set of graduations all the way through the weekend. It's always very rewarding as board members to get to see the students go across the stage. To the students, please make sure that you celebrate responsibly. All right. Remember that we can still get you. All right. So celebrate responsibly. We're very much looking forward to our first in-person graduation in I think the last 2 years, and this is very much anticipated, and we're really looking forward to a wonderful celebration. It'll be great to see all the families and friends, see everyone cheer for education. This is the one time of the year that we get to see the entire community really stand up on their feet and salute and cheer for education, which is always very encouraging and wonderful to see. As was mentioned by my colleagues, great things are continuing to happen in our school division. As I understand it, we saw Mr. Hunter this weekend. We did see the community captains. We saw students who were receiving college credit and getting acceptance to Christopher Newport University right here in our own city, go across the stage and receive their college credit and their certificates. I also understand that we have yet another state champion in our midst. So this has been a very successful year for Newport News Public Schools. We've had several state champions that we've had the privilege of honoring here in our auditorium, and I believe that we have another state champion that is going to be due for honors. Our track team did it again in the outdoor season. So just really a great year and a lot of positive things happening. And so we wish you all the best, and we will see you again soon. We'll call this meeting adjourned.
Yeah, I have the big announcement, right?
And I don't think
You have the announcement.